Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome again to a new lesson on Durusu العربية للناشئين. Today inshallah we're going to look at الدرس السادس والعشرون, that is lesson 26, and the topic of today's lesson is الخالة. الخالة means the auntie, that is from the mother side. So we have al-hiwaru, that is the conversation, and this conversation is going to be between al-ummu and Hassanu. Al-ummu, that is the mother, then Hassan is her son. So al-ummu, she said, ilbis malabisaka al-jadidata ya Hassanu. This means ilbis means wear, and that is referring to the male. So for instance, when you want to refer to the female, you are going to say ilbisi, wear. So for the male you say ilbis. Ilbis malabisaka al-jadidata. So malabisaka al-jadidata means your new clothes. Ya Hassanu, O Hassan. Ilbis malabisaka al-jadidata ya Hassanu. Wear your new clothes, O Hassan. So Hassan, he said, Limadha ya ummi. This means, why, O my mother? Limadha ya ummi. Why, O my mother? Then al-ummu, she said, Khalatuka samiratu tazuruna al-yawma. This means, Khalatuka means your auntie. Khalatuka Samira, that is your auntie Samira, tazuruna, is visiting us al-yawma, today. Khalatuka Samiratu tazuruna al-yawma. This means your auntie Samira is visiting us today. So we have Hassanu, he further asks, Mata tahduru. This means, when is she coming? Mata tahduru means when is she coming? That is referring to the female. When you want to refer to the male, you want to say when is he coming. So in that case, you are going to say Mata yahduru. That is when is he coming. So al-ummu, the mother, she replied, she said, Tahduru halan. Tahduru halan. This means she is coming now. Tahduru halan, she is coming now. So Hassan, he further asks, he said, Hal amilti ba'd al-halwa. This means, Hal amilti means, did you do? That is referring to her mother. So when he wants to refer to the male, he's going to say, Hal amilta. Hal amilta, did you do? Then for the female, he will say, Hal amilti. Did you do بعض الحلوى, some sweets? هل عملتي بعض الحلوى? Did you do some sweets? Then al-ummu, she replied and she said, نعم, that is yes. وعملت بعض الكعك أيضا. This means, and I did some cake also. Al-ka'ki means the cake. وعملت بعض الكعك أيضا, and I did some cake also. So Hassan, he said, جميل, that is beautiful. سألبس بسرعة. This means I will wear quickly. So this is the end of the conversation that was between al-ummu, the mother, and her son Hassan. So now let's look at some of the exercises that are below this conversation. So the first one, we have an instruction that says Istabdil kama fil mithalaini. This means exchange according to the two examples. So firstly, we have the sentence Ilbas malabisaka al-jadidata. This means put on your new clothes. So below it we also have the same thing, Ilbas malabisaka al-jadidata. Put on your new clothes. So example 1, Mithalu al-awwal, we have a new word which is ar-riyadatu. meaning here we are going to use الرياضة to replace الجديدة. So in this case you are going to say البس ملابسك الرياضة, which means put on your sport wear. So example 2, we have a new word which is أحضر. أحضر means bring. So meaning here we are going to use أحضر to replace إلبس. So in this case we are going to say أحضر ملابسك الرياضة, which means bring your sport wear. So in the exercise, the first one we have the word العربية. So meaning here we are going to replace الرياضة with العربية. So in this case we are going to say أحضر ملابسك العربية, meaning bring your Arabian clothes. You see? So number 2 we have كتابك. كتابك means your book. So meaning here we are going to replace ملابسك with كتابك. أحضر كتابك العربية, meaning bring out your Arabic book. So number 3 we have اقرأ. So meaning here we are going to replace أحضر with اقرأ. So now we say اقرأ كتابك العربية, meaning read your Arabic book. So this is how you are going to complete this exercise. So now let's move on to the next one. Here we have an instruction that says حول الجمل الآتية. This means change the following sentences إلى أسئلة, to questions. مستخدما هل وبعض, by using هل and بعض, which is some. كما في المثالين, according to the two examples. So in this case they want us to change this sentence to be in question form by using هل and بعض. So in this case we are going to say هل قرأت بعض القرآن. This means did you read some Quran? So example 2 we have عمل الحلوى, which means he made the sweet. So in this case you are going to say هل عملت بعض الحلوى, meaning did you make some sweets? So in the exercise number 1 we have أخذ الأقلام. أخذ الأقلام, this means he took the pens. So in this case we are going to say هل أخذت بعض الأقلام, meaning did you take some pens? Number 2 we have تناول الطعام. So in this case you are going to say هل تناولت بعض الطعام, this means did you take some food, and so on. So this is how we are going to complete this exercise. So now let's move on to the next one, and here we have an instruction that says أعد الجمل الآتية. This means repeat the following sentences مع زيادة الكلمات, by adding the words التي تسمعها, that you hear, or بين القوسين, or that are between the brackets. كما في أمثلة ألف, as in the example ألف. So let's look at the ألف. The ألف says خالتك تزورنا. This means your auntie is visiting us. خالتك تزورنا, your auntie is visiting us. So below it we have the new word سميرة, meaning here we are going to attach سميرة to the previous sentence. So now we say خالتك سميرة تزورنا. This means your auntie Samira is visiting us. So number 3 we have the new word اليوم, that is today. So meaning we are going to attach اليوم to the previous sentence. So now we say خالتك سميرة تزورنا اليوم. This means your auntie Samira is visiting us today. So number 4 we have the new word مساء, meaning evening. So now we say خالتك سميرة تزورنا مساء اليوم. This means your auntie Samira is visiting us by today's evening. You see? So now in the exercise, the first one we have عملت الحلوى. This means she made the sweet. عملت الحلوى, she made the sweet. So in the first one we have al-ummu. So meaning here we are going to attach al-ummu to the previous sentence. Now we say عملت الأم الحلوى. This means the mother made the sweet. So the next one we have بعض. Now we say عملت الأم بعض الحلوى. This means the mother made some sweet. So the next one we have والكعك, that is, and the cake. So in this case we are going to say عملت الأم بعض الحلوى والكعك. This means the mother made some sweet and the cake. So now let's move on to the next one. Here we have an instruction that says أجب عن الأسئلة الآتية, that is, answer the following questions. So the first one we have ماذا تطلب الأم من حسان. This means what is the mother asking from Hassan? So if you could remember, in the exercise the mother was requesting from Hassan to wear his clothes. So in this case you are going to say تطلب الأم من حسان أن يلبس ملابسه الجديدة. This means the mother is asking from Hassan to wear his new clothes. So that is the first one. The second one says وَلِمَاذَا, and why? So if you could remember, the mother was asking Hassan to do that because the auntie wanted visiting them. So in this case you are going to say لِأَنَّ الْخَالَةَ تَزُورُهُمُ الْيَوْمَ. This means because the auntie is visiting them today. So number 3 we have مَتَى تَحْضُرُ الْخَالَةَ. This means when is the auntie coming? So in this case you are going to say تَحْضُرُ الْخَالَةَ حَالًا. That is, the auntie is coming now. ماذا عملت الأم. This means what did the mother made? So you are going to say عملت الأم بعض الحلوى. This means the mother made some sweets. So this is how you are going to complete this exercise. So on your own you can try to complete this exercise, and if you have any problem, please feel free to drop that in the comment section. So now let's move on to the next one. Here we have an instruction that says تكلم. This means speak. أجري الحوار, run the conversation كما في المثالين, according to the two examples. So in the first example we are provided with two phrases. We have صديقك and في الخامسة مساء. صديقك means your friend, and في الخامسة مساء means by 5 evening. So as for صديقك, your friend, you are going to say صديقك يزورنا اليوم, meaning your friend is visiting us today. So then we will now ask متى يحضر, when is he coming? Then in this case you are going to use the other phrase now. So now we say يحضر في الخامسة مساء, that he is coming by 5 evening. You see? So in the second example we also have the two phrases خالتك, that is your auntie, and على العشاء, by evening. So as for خالتك, we are going to say خالتك تزورنا اليوم. This means your auntie is visiting us today. So now we'll ask the question متى تحضر, when is she coming? So in this case we are going to use the other one now. We say تحضر على العشاء, she is coming by evening. So as for the exercise, the first one will have the two phrases عمك and في العاشرة صباحا. عمك means your uncle, and في العاشرة صباحا means by 10 morning. So as for عمك, you're going to say عمك يزورنا اليوم, that is your uncle is visiting us today. Then you now ask the question متى يحضر, when is he coming? Then you now respond by saying يحضر في العاشرة صباحا, that is he is coming by 10 morning. So the next one we have والدك and هذا المساء. So as for waliduka, your father, you're going to say waliduka yazuruna al-yawma. That is, your father is visiting us today. Then you ask, mata yahduru, when is he coming? Then you say yahduru hadha al-masaa. That is, he is coming by this evening. So this is how you are going to complete this exercise. So now let's move on to the next one. Here we also have takallam, that is, speak. Hati as'ilatan wa ajwibatan. This means bring question and answer kama fil mithal, as in the example. So in the example we have al-halwa and al-ka'k. Al-halwa means the sweet, then al-ka'k means the cake. So as for al-halwa, we are going to use it to ask the question, هل أحضرت بعض الحلوى? This means, did you bring some sweets? Then as for al-ka'k, you say نعم, yes, وأحضرت بعض الكعك أيضا, and I brought some cake also. You see, so in the exercise we have al-ta'am, the food, and al-fakiha, the fruits. So as for al-ta'am, you're going to say هل أحضرت بعض الطعام? This means, did you bring some food? Then as for al-fakiha, you're going to say نعم, yes, وأحضرت بعض الفاكهة أيضا, and I brought some fruit also. Then we have الشاي and السكر. So as for الشاي, you're going to say هل أحضرت بعض الشاي? This means, did you bring some tea? Then you say نعم, yes, وأحضرت بعض السكر أيضا, and I brought some sugar also. So this is how you are going to complete this exercise. So now let's move on to the next one. And here we have an instruction that says أجب عن الأسئلة الآتية. This means, answer the following questions. So in the first question we have هل عبد الله غائب اليوم? This means, is Abdullah absent today? So these are self questions which you can provide any answer you like to. So we could say نعم Abdullah غائب اليوم, which means yes, Abdullah is absent today. So number two we have كيف ذهبت إلى المعرض? How did you go to the show? So you could say I went to the show by the bus. So in this case you are going to say ذهبت إلى المعرض بالحافلة. ذهبت إلى المعرض بالحافلة. I went to the show by bus. So number three says هل تسكن في شارع السوق? Are you living in the market street? So you could say no, I live in the airport street. So in this case you are going to say لا, no, أسكن في شارع المطار. I live in the airport street. So this is how you are going to complete this exercise. So now let's look at the next one. Here we have اقرأ, read. So here we have the number 500. This means 500. 500 means 500. Then 600, that is 600, and 700 means 700. So here we have uktub al-arqam, write the numbers bil huruf, by words. Thumma qra'aha, then read them. So here we have 570. So in words we are going to say 570, that is 570. The next one we have 680. So this is 680. Then we have 790. That is 790. So now the next exercise is ماذا تقول? What do you say? So here they are going to be giving us some instances, and we are going to mention how to express ourselves in Arabic in those instances. So the first one we have أنت تريد صحيفة. You want a newspaper. ماذا تقول للبائع? what do you say to the seller? So in this case you could say أريد أن أشتري الصحيفة. This means I want to buy the newspaper. So number 2 we have أنت تريد كتابك من المدرس. You want your book from the teacher. ماذا تقول له? What do you say to him? So you could say من فضلك يا أستاذ أريد كتابي العربية. This means please, oh Ustaz, I want my Arabiya book. So number 3 says أختك تقول. This means your sister is saying صباح الخير, good morning. ماذا تقول لها? What do you say to her? Then you are going to reply by saying صباح النور, that is good morning as well. So this is how you are going to complete this exercise. So now let's move on to the next one. And here we have an instruction that says imla الفراغ, that is fill the empty space بكلمة مناسبة, with a suitable word, مستعينا بالصورة, by using the pictures. So number 1 we have يحب الأب, they have the picture of the chicken. So in this case you are going to say يحب الأب الدجاجة, that is the father loves the chicken. وتحب الأم الفواكه, and the mother loves the fruits. Number 2 we have تساعد البنت أمها, that is the girl helps her mother في إعداد, they have المائدة, في إعداد المائدة, in arranging the table. Number 3 we have يلعب أحمد شد, they have the rope الحبل. يلعب أحمد شد الحبل, that Ahmad plays the drawing of the rope. So this is how you complete this. Number 4 says رتب الكلمات لتصبح عبارة مفيدة. Arrange the following words to become a meaningful sentence. So we have الدجاج العم زوجة تحب. So you could say زوجة العم تحب الدجاجة, the uncle's wife loves the chicken. Number 2 says البنت الفطير عمل ستساعد في أمها. ستساعد البنت أمها في عمل الفطير. This means the girl will help her mother in preparing or making the pie. So this is how you complete this. So now let's quickly move on to the next one. Here we have an instruction that says رتب العبارات لتصبح فقرة مفهومة. This means arrange the expressions to become a meaningful paragraph. So here we have عملت الأم الدجاج والفطير وستحضر أسرته معه وساعدت البنت أمها في إعداد المائدة سيزور العم الأسرة يوم الجمعة. So the most suitable one to begin the paragraph is سيزور العم الأسرة يوم الجمعة, meaning the uncle will visit the family on Friday, followed by وستحضر أسرته معه, meaning and his family will come with him, then followed by عملت الأم الدجاجة والفطيرة, the mother made the chicken and the pie. Then the last one is وساعدت البنت أمها في إعداد المائدة, and the girl helped her mother in arranging the table. So this is the end of the exercises, and inshallah here we are going to end to this lesson. We hope you enjoyed the lesson. See you in our next lesson. مع السلامة إلى اللقاء.